results are good for, so that we don't have to go back, or if we experiment with this and we go back, as you say, it's going to be a change road, maybe it won't meet warrants, or depending upon when we do the study again, what happens. And again, we spent $7,000 to get it. So let's find out what it is. But the other thing is in relation to whatever the proposal is here, again, this is coming a little bit more than what we initially were indicated to us as far as costs. From a timing standpoint, if the board decides that we'd like to move forward with this, are we going to do it before this fiscal year ends, or are we going to wait until July 1st? And I guess in order to make that determination, if we're going to tie up, $20,000, $30,000 on this particular project, which wasn't on the drawing board at all, what projects are going to give, and can we factor it in at all between now and July 1st?
Yes, sir.
So other projects we give.
We'll defer something else if that's the board's desire.
So we would be able to, I don't know what else you have on the drawing board and how much money is left in your account for this type of work.
The two options to fund this, it would be out of the town road money that's typically appropriate annually in Chapter 90, which is from the state. We currently have about $32,000 in town road money, which we use for maintaining of non-accepted roads. For example, last year we used part of it to pave Caroline Road. The residents in the town split the cost. That would be deferred, because I think the next vote for town road money would be in the fall.
Correct.
Which would put that back to next construction season.
But how many other projects do we have in the drawing board for that? The $30,000 may cover a couple of different projects in other areas of town. I don't know where they are from a priority standpoint. This wasn't on the drawing board.
The other thing
do we necessarily want to defer? Whatever you're talking about deferring, you're deferring for a whole other year. Pretty much. If we're going to go October, the chances of you getting to these two projects before the snow flies and the hot top plants close would be wouldn't. So we're talking about deferring some projects, and I don't know what they are, for basically an entire year in order to achieve this, whereby we may be able to wait till July 1st and get it done too. Now, this is the busy season for the trucks, though. So right.
I've talked to the state, though, and they indicated that with the proper, language from the community, I can approve that under a Chapter 90 project as well. So the town road money, there's two pots of money. It possibly could be the Chapter 90 money.
Would it be the new Chapter money coming, 90 money, or is there still some sitting there for
the existing?
The existing.
Okay. And right now we have enough to one street in the pot.
So I just want to know what would be giving.
It can be done, and just we'll shift one road back. So I'll if you guys want it done, I will get it done.
I think what Steve is asking, Dick, is if we were to ask you to do this as soon as possible, something's got to give. What are you giving? What isn't getting done until later?
Mr. Chairman, I can respond to that, because one of the things I wanted to do was look at the road projects that we have programmed. So, we're looking at, and I'm going to just list off some projects that we have that are on the docket and some associated costs. Part of Country Club Road, the estimated cost is $98,400. A portion of Central Street cost is $228,300. Tower Hill, or a portion of Tower Hill Road, at $334,700. And School Hill Lane, approximately $105,000. So the total of some of those is about $766,000. Chapter 90 money that we have on hand is $128,393. Dick mentioned $32,000 in town road money, and the slug of Chapter 90 money that comes in on July 1st. So all of those together, the total projects that we have programmed is $766,000. The total amount of money that we have coming in from Chapter 90 and town money that's on hand is about $652,000. So we'd have to obviously make some decisions in terms of doing portions of projects. But as you can see, we pretty much got those monies earmarked at this point for those 4 different projects.
I have something that's just bothering me about this whole thing and the path that we're on. When I listen to people, even before we did the study, the complaints were related to speeding. In the summer, with windows down, I heard a lot of people complaining about noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the real question here is, and then we have the issue of if we put these raised crosswalks on the road, right, will we actually deter the traffic, or will we just manage to slow it down? And if we slow it down, are we going to make more noise as a result of them slowing things down and starting up again?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's like this conundrum that we have over, what we do. And then, of course, if we go forward with the truck exclusion and we can get that approved, then we're going to move the traffic to some other place. In other words, the fact that we do this, right, doesn't eliminate the trucks from coming through town.
No.
At least no one has said that. It's not going to discourage them to go down 93 and through 128. So it's almost like we're pushing here, to create a problem there.
If I could answer your question, because
that's what I in my head.
Yeah.
Right. I
And
just
those are all
can't
fair
get through.
thoughts. But,
what we're trying to do here.
But remember, initially, the race crosswalk wasn't even part of our discussion or in anybody's thought until Chief Murphy brought it up several weeks after he took into his position. Once he brought it up, he also went to one step further and he started contacting other towns that actually did this. So based on that research, and then Mike Sorgan also, I think, assisted him and participated in some of those discussions, visiting and getting some data from some of these towns. And the research showed that this works. It worked for them. Now, we can't guarantee it's going to work for us, but it worked for them. And I think you have to make decisions based on the research. But nothing is no guarantees in anything we do. And I think based on my discussion with the residents in the area, after they heard Chief Murphy's discussion and the information provided by Mike Sorgan, that they felt that this is a worthy option to maybe step out first on and give it a shot. They felt it was better than trying to go through the whole process of this truck exclusion. And I agreed with them. They were Chief Murphy was very clear that these will create some more noise, potentially. But we also know that the trucks most likely won't go down that road anymore because they're not going to want to start and stop and start and stop, start and stop. So they're willing to roll their dice to give this a shot. And I'm in support of them in making this happen.
Mr. Chair.
Well, I think Jeff or
Sean did have a question too, I'm sure.
You can go first.
Okay.
I think we have to keep our eyes and ears set on the ultimate goal here. We're talking about safety. We're talking about peace and quiet by reducing the noise and so on. I think what my concern is the loss of an opportunity if we go first with the risers. And listening to the points that I've heard seem to justify that if we go with the risers, it's agreed here that it would increase the noise, but it may, according to Dick, the statistics that he's familiar with, and correct me if I've misunderstood you, that it will slow traffic down, but it won't necessarily divert traffic, if I understood you correctly.
It won't divert truck traffic.
Truck traffic is what we're talking about, yes. And
It's
that's really
like,
what we're talking
It's
about.
got like a 75-80% success rate in lowering speeds in vehicles.
Right,
It's
okay.
a high number, but diverting trucks, it's like 10, 12%.
And also if we go with the risers, that changes the road. Therefore, we would lose the opportunity for going for a truck exclusion because we changed the road. All right. If we go through that and we still don't have the answer, if how long we have the window of opportunity to go for the truck exclusion. I mean, if we knew that answer right now, it would help our decision process a bit more. And if we lose the truck exclusion opportunity, and we have the speed rises there, and we have more noise, and we don't lose the volume in traffic that you're hoping for, it kind of falls under the category, be careful what you ask for, because we might wind up in a spot where the situation is really worse now, and you really can't do anything about it. You can't go for the truck exclusion. The trucks are going to keep coming, and it's not going to be safe. So it would just seem to me that the appropriate course of action would be to go for a truck exclusion, and if that fails, then go for the speed risers, because you can always take those off. remove them. If you put them in, you can remove them. So that's my thought process on that.
Sean?
I just want to bring it to some decision and some conclusion. People live on New Street and Chestnut Street have been dealing with this for I don't know how many years. It's been before us for, I think, over 2 years. We don't seem any further down the road today than we were when the group came before us probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. At that time, they said, pursue both paths. There was nothing precluding us from doing so. We would have been that much further down the road in terms of a truck exclusion. In terms of, we know the study that was done isn't going to last forever. So I'm in favor of moving forward with that as well as going forward with these rises. Let's move it. Let's move it forward. We're going to divert traffic. And it seems to be a difference in the research you've done and the research the chief has done in terms of how much traffic we're going to divert by these rises. So I don't know where that conflict comes from, but it seems to be, I don't know if you're looking at the same materials. It doesn't seem like you are. But certainly if the chief is correct, we're going to divert traffic. So whether we have a truck exclusion or these rises, you're going to divert traffic somewhere. So it's going to go somewhere. So we're going to have to deal with that. But these folks have been put up with this issue. We know we can move forward with a truck exclusion. Let's just do it. Let's make a decision and move forward. And in terms of we're going to have to defer some other work, we're spending $600,000. It's $20,450. It's a small amount of money compared to the overall expenditure we're going to do on road work. I think we can divert $20,000 worth to get this solved over here, or hopefully get it solved. Let's just get it done. That's my position.
If it's okay, Mr. Mills, I hate to put you on the spot, but can you shed some light on your experience with these? Because I know your expertise is in this area. And if some of the stuff we're talking about, if you hear some of the data that's being thrown around, if you think it's not valid or it's incorrect, if you could just share some of that as well. If you could come up to the podium and introduce yourself first.
For the record, my name is Daniel Mills, 5 Green Meadow Drive. Not really here to comment on the project tonight. I'm just was confused with the objective of the project itself. I am experienced in traffic engineering, so I do have some expertise in these matters. Again, I was just I sort of agree with Mr. Messeri had said with regards to their one of the issues was that there was a noise problem, and this does not seem like it will help at the quote risers or the raised crosswalks. The question I had was regard to speeding. I didn't really think there was a speeding problem with regards to the data that the police department had posted when they did their study. And again, a lot of the traffic is destined to Monaghan and the DPW center. So I'm not sure the amount that's going to be deterred.
Actually, that's not correct.
That's minimal.
That's minimal.
That's minimal. Most of it's coming over from Wilmington, Benevento pits,
Right.
Contractors cutting through.
Yeah, so we got the percentages.
most of
Avoid 93 to 128.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not get a copy of the report?
Just looking at it. That's why I wasn't really prepared to
No, but
comments tonight, though.
But I was just really curious in
Yeah.
your expertise on these raised crosswalks.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen them? Have you worked with them? Have you seen them used in this?
The only thing that I know is
solve
that
this
if they're
kind
not designed properly, then they give what you guys are trying to do a really bad name, and it will, everybody will remember that. Oh, it didn't work there, so let's never do them again anywhere in town. So if they're not done properly and for a good intent, then they become a black eye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. O'Leary.
a couple of things. One is, I we got some correspondence a week or two ago on those raised crosswalks that are more of a portable nature. I know they're more costly, but to me, if this stuff doesn't work, we're not doing a road, redoing a road, turning it back up, and all the rest. And it gives us additional options to use them other places later on. I know you those you would take them out in the wintertime, I think it was. You just have some lag
It's
bolts.
basically lagged into the
Lag
ground,
bolts,
right.
they drop on, take them off, take the lag bolts out, and then you don't have a problem with the plowing. The issue, we don't have the same problem in the wintertime as we do this time of year and in the summertime as far as the increased traffic. So, I want to see something done, but I want to make sure it's right. And